Welcome back. So many Microsoft users around the world are facing a frustrating start to this Friday morning as they were unable to access Microsoft 365 apps and services. An outage being reported a couple of hours ago, in some instances even affecting flights as far as the United States. Let's get you a sense of what we know and, as I mentioned, perhaps what we don't know with our guest, Mybroadband Editor-in-Chief Jan Vermeulen, who joins us now via our video link. And let me start off, Jan, by saying I'm glad we can have this conversation virtually, because whatever's taking place may have very well affected our ability to interact. But let's begin with the basics. What do we think is happening here?
So as best we can piece together, and good morning, and apologies to the viewers for me wearing a T-shirt, no tie or jacket this morning, but at least it's my Docker shirt. I look like a techie today. As best we can piece together, it's a cybersecurity company called CrowdStrike that pushed out an update sometime this morning. And that has caused some kind of poor interaction with Microsoft Windows's subsystems, and it's causing the Windows computers to enter what we call a boot loop, or a blue screen of death loop. So the second the machine powers on, it shows this error message. And it sounds like even running machines after installing this CrowdStrike update would throw up this blue screen of death error message. For Windows users out there, you'll probably be well aware of the dreaded blue screen of death. We haven't really dealt with it en masse like this since the Windows, I want to say Windows 98 or potentially the Windows XP days. But the blue screen of death is a dreaded thing, and it means that something has badly gone wrong on the system. And it sounds like the workaround for this problem, excuse me, is going to cause gray hair for techies today.
Yeah, sure. I mean, clearly disruptions in your throat and in our systems taking place around the world. But, for many people, of course, a number of concerns will come up, including whether or not there's any kind of security breach to their data. How worried should people be about something like that?
I think some moderate concerns that this was some kind of what they call a supply chain attack. I think that is worth keeping in the back of our heads. But right now, I think people are more concerned about getting their systems online. TV stations around the world, radio stations, emergency services, airports, airlines. So many people have been affected that I think the first priority is getting back online, then figuring out from CrowdStrike exactly what went wrong, and if any data has been compromised or systems have been compromised, and what to be done from there. But we're seeing the London Stock Exchange impacted. So that first, and then we worry about exactly what's gone wrong here.
Yeah, you're right. Several aspects of life have been very much affected by this, including those who, of course, keep their money with Capitec. Look, I'm not quite sure what is taking place there or whether or not this is even related. But, perhaps you might have a better sense of whether or not Capitec is among the many casualties of this particular disruption.
I would not be surprised if Capitec was impacted by this. We've heard that a major insurance company in South Africa has been impacted. So it wouldn't surprise me if the two were related, but we don't know for sure. Unfortunately, what we do know is Capitec's whole system is down. And so Capitec clients around the country can't access their funds. That's a huge concern, and I'm sure the folks at Capitec are running around crazily trying to sort this mess out.
Fair enough. Of course, in moments like this, we always have to kind of take stock about, some of the ways in which technology has made its way into our everyday lives and how intricately linked we are to it. The reason why this particular disruption is having such a major disruption is because we so heavily rely on these technologies, which are meant to make our lives a whole lot more convenient. But in times like these, of course, it seems the opposite effect is exactly what's happening.
Yeah, so to get like a little bit technical and philosophical about it, this is a conversation we've just had in the office, is how the internet, which is supposed to be a distributed network and is supposed to be resilient to this kind of thing, has actually become increasingly centralized. There's increasingly many single points of failure on the internet and in our computer systems. And the reason is simple, is we've had to make some pretty compromising choices to specifically deal with cybercrime. And so CrowdStrike, the reason people use CrowdStrike is because it's a leading cybersecurity defense system. It's because people are being nailed in ransomware attacks and all kinds of other cybercrime that we now have to rely on these specialist providers of systems to protect us. And when those systems go down, then so many industries are impacted. I mean, I worry about what happens if Cloudflare goes down one day. I think 2/3 of the internet would go down if Cloudflare is hit by something like this in future. And so, yes, this is something that I think keeps internet architects or internet engineers up at night. I don't know what the solution to the problem is. This is kind of just how things have evolved over time in response to the increasing number of threats on the internet. And yes, the reason we're trying to defend against threats is because of how increasingly dependent we've become on this technology, from our day-to-day banking to communication, what we're doing right now. It's made our lives a whole lot better and a whole lot easier, but every now and again, something like this can happen.
Sure, yeah, the unintended consequences of being part of this global village. Jan Vermeulen, thanks as always for giving us your insights, even at times of great uncertainty, like where we are now. We appreciate it. Jan Vermeulen, the editor-in-chief, of course, of Mybroadband. And yeah, we'll keep monitoring the story, by the way, see how things unfold. But hopefully we'll be able to get down to the bottom of what exactly happened and, of course, how to prevent a repeat of this in the future.